What's up, your boy Vaughn? Another reaction. In today's video, we have Why Nobody Respects Real Madrid by Pay Talks Football. I just reacted to the Vinicius Jr. problem. Nobody at Real Madrid wants to admit. I just reacted to that by Rambo. But this Pay Talks Football. Make sure like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. Yeah, I like how when you like it, put a soccer ball animation for like the videos you watch. If I watch a video about football, like American football, it's gonna put the football. And if I watch a video about soccer and I like it, it's gonna put a soccer ball. That's cool.
Listen to what Yamal said about Real Madrid.
Madrid, no?
Lamar, you need to leave Barcelona because I don't know if you're going to win the Champions League. And Lamine Yamal, come to PSG, Legang. Come to PSG. Paris. You can win multiple Ballon d'Ors. You know, it's League One. You could stat pad like a motherfucker. Like, multiple Ballon d'Ors, win Champions Leagues. Like, come to PSG, gang. Come to PSG, Lamar. I know you think about it. Come to PSG. You will win so many Ballon d'Ors, nigga. You had 9 Ballon d'Ors, nigga. You will rack up so many goals in League One. Like, come on.
Roban a los...
I'm telling you, Lamine Yamal gonna be a PSG player. I'm telling you, he gonna be a PSG player. Watch. Probably in a couple of years, probably in his late 30s, his early 30s, I don't know, but I think he's gonna play for PSG.
Talking about Real Madrid, he said they always get the calls, they always complain.
Now, people laughed at this comment at the time, saying that he was biased. And then, of course, after this interview, Barca lost in El Clasico and Yamal didn't have his best game, so everybody kind of piled up on him. But you're seeing now a lot of fans and even other players are catching on to what he was saying. I mean, just listen to this comment from Harry.
There is Lamine Yamal in my league, bro. League One, bro. This nigga would tear the fucking... Bro, I don't think there's not one nigga in League One that could guard Lamine Yamal. That nigga would make that shit look like the fucking... Yeah, they call it the McDonald's League. That shit look like a DoorDash McDonald's League. Like, he'll make that shit look like a Sunday football. Like... Make that shit look like the 14 unders.
Very, very angry. I'm sure they are, but they've had many things go their way in over the years. So
now listen to Olise in this interview. Listen to him laugh when the reporter mentions that Real Madrid are the kings of this competition.
You just beaten the king of the competition.
King of the competition.
Bro, you try not to laugh, bro. That's disrespectful.
This nigga Olise funny, bro.
Now let me make it very clear, Madrid are the most successful club in the 21st century.
Real Madrid have won the Champions League for a record 15th time.
They've been down this road before, haven't they? In fact, 6 times in the last 11 years, Real Madrid gather at Sevilla to once again celebrate Champions League success.
I'm telling you, PSG gonna be there. I'm telling you. I need to start getting them. I need to get the mini Champions League trophies and start put that bitch in my room. Like every year we win one, so I'm gonna add another mini trophy.
Both on and off the pitch.
Real Madrid posted $1.1 billion in revenue.
Alright, how much a champ? They got a replica, like a actual, like the big replica. Let me see. Tell you, PSG, we gonna be there. It 16 Champions Leagues they got. It's gonna be a while to make it there. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be a while, but we gonna get there. Rep. Yeah, this the mini one though, right? Yeah, mini replica. Yeah, this mini. Yeah, small. Now I want a real one, like that, the big one. But this cool though. $180, $53 ain't that bad. $180. Oh, dope. So I think this the big one. Yeah. Look at the handles. Yeah. This the big one. Yeah, I need this bitch. Bro.
The first soccer team ever to surpass the $1 billion mark in revenue.
The amount of Champions Leagues they've won, the dominance they have shown, the profits they have made off the pitch. Like Barca were not able to register players and these guys were upgrading their stadium.
they have their brain
they prepare for this kind of moments.
There is nobody that comes near them in terms of the success that they have had in the last 10, 15, 20 years. They've been so good that they've actually ruined football in the sense that everybody thinks winning a Champions League is easy now. It's not. That's why very few clubs have done what Real Madrid have done.
And you have been winning everything with Manchester City, except this Champions League. And obviously it's so difficult to win the Champions League. Tell me a little bit why it's so difficult.
Because Madrid is always there.
Yep.
Tough luck.
Yeah.
But despite their success, these guys are the biggest sore losers.
Javier Tebas has been a bit more critical of Real Madrid. He says, I'm a Real Madrid fan. The most important values of this club are being a gentleman and shaking hands when you lose. I think Real Madrid lost that spirit a long time ago.
Who do these Spanish clubs think they are? I mean, what did they think?
Oh, fish and chips, mate. It's from Spud Bros, mate. With beans and toast with tuna on it.
What's going to happen with sending this nonsense in? I mean, it's
Who do these bloods think they is? These bloody blowcuts, mate.
It's ridiculous. Both Barcelona and Real Madrid are making themselves a laughing stock.
They just are. Now, you can make the argument that you don't become a serial winner without absolutely hating to lose. Like, you don't become that successful by just losing and going, oh well, we lost. You don't get to that level. That's not the mentality of the top competitors. At the same time, if you have that sort of mentality, if you're always winning and your entire brand is built on being the best, the greatest, the kings of a competition, then you have to be ready to take the shots when you're in a bit of a downfall. Because here's the thing with Madrid, there are so many examples of these guys just being sore losers. You have the fact that they boycotted the Ballon d'Or.
I don't think it was a wrong decision. It was a decision. We didn't want to participate because we thought that Vinicius was the winner of the Ballon d'Or.
I've literally...
That nigga love doing that eyebrow shit. Like, nigga... I think that's just a permanent mitt. Like, The Rock... That nigga got The Rock John. Like, why is your eyebrow up and the other one low? Like... I think that's just... His face just permanently like that. Like, it should just been like that.
Do that. Imagine if Arsenal boycotted the Ballon d'Or because Pavel Nedved won it instead of Thierry Henry. Imagine if Inter did that with Schneider because Messi won in 2010. Just because you don't agree with a decision that was made by the voters, by the journalists, that doesn't mean that you can just do childish stuff like this.
That's all it was on social media yesterday, and I was just sat at home going, oh, for God's sake. It's like big babies, isn't it?
You win Team of the Year, yet nobody, you stop everybody from going to the award ceremony as a team because an individual.
Yeah, but we don't talk about this enough though. They hold the fuck out of Vinicius. I ain't gonna lie. He deserved this shit. I ain't gonna lie. Vinicius, one of the greatest Champions League players we ever seen. That nigga be showing up for the Champions League. I ain't gonna lie.
Individual hasn't won it. And again, what that shouts to me is the individual is more important than the team.
Now, some people will say, oh, it was actually the Ballon d'Or people that disrespected Real Madrid. But the reality...
Your ass is like Armand Sarukian. Like a Dagestanian.
The reality is, if you're a club as big as Los Blancos, you've been as successful as them, you also have to be held to a higher standard of ethics and etiquette and behavior both on and off the pitch, and you just never see that with Real Madrid. Despite how successful these guys have been, when they lose, they are so childish. They forget all the times that they have had an advantage due to a poor refereeing decision.
Do you feel, I asked your trainer the same question, do you feel a bit robbed?
What the fuck is, I thought that was Zidane, what the fuck?
By that performance and that...
That's, who is that? Ribery? No, fuck. I forgot this nigga name.
That goal and the red card and so on.
I really don't like to talk about referee, but in this case...
That is Ribery, right? That's Ribery, right? No, that ain't Ribery. That's the other nigga. Yeah, Ruben. Yeah, Ruben.
I mean, it's not one. It's more crucial decisions that decide the game, and that's a shame because it was, I think, it was an advertisement, how do you say, for football, you know?
They just ignore that and only focus on the few times that they have been screwed over. Like I saw a comp on Twitter the other day. It was an hour-long compilation of all the sketchy decisions that have gone in favor of Real Madrid over the years, especially in that year where they had the three-peat. Now let me be very clear, any team that wins the Champions League, any team that wins a lot, eventually across the season will get refereeing decisions go their way. You look at Barca when they won the sextuple in 2009. Some very sketchy decisions went their way, like in the game against Chelsea. You look at Manchester City and the dominance they've had over the Premier League. There have been many instances where one of their players should have gone a second yellow, but the ref swallows his whistle. Like Rodri is famous for just getting away with so many tactical fouls and never receiving that second booking. But with Real Madrid, as soon as something does not go their way,
there's so many soccer jerseys I gotta get, bro. Holy fuck, I need some money on.
They begin weeping. And the thing with these guys is, they're so used to getting every 50-50 call go their way, that as soon as one doesn't go their way, they lose their mind. We saw it in the 2025 Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. A lot of people are going to forget some of the horrific officiating that game because Barcelona won, but so many things went in favor of Real Madrid.
Oh yeah, that was a blatant handball. What the fuck? Russ, y'all ain't see that? Y'all ain't replay that and see that on VAR? That was a blatant handball. What the hell? Nah, them niggas, boy, the refs had a parlay on Real Madrid. Them niggas had fucking Real Madrid to win for 10K. Them niggas had a bet up on God. What the fuck?
And of course they ignored that. They focused on the things that happened in the 90th minute and they all ran onto the pitch. And I think at one point people had to hold Rudiger back because he was gonna...
Rudiger really said that? I would kill you? The fuck? He looked crazy as hell. African warlord. What that nigga on TikTok say? A beak we folk. His boy look like an African on folks' grave. His name, he looked like his name, Kiki Obuku. On folks' grave.
And they all ran onto the pitch, and I think at one point people had to hold Rudiger back because he was going to attack the referee. It's crazy. A ref will follow the rules of the game, the letter of the law, and then the Real Madrid players and fans are like, why is this guy against us? There's a quote that I think is very fitting for that club. And the quote is, when you're accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. Now let me simplify it for some of you guys that might not understand the quote. It's simply that when you're used to getting things your way, being treated like everybody else feels like you've been scammed. And that's basically the greatest way to describe Real Madrid's mentality and actions.
God damn, man, the whole team jumping on the refs. But you know, really, as a PSG fan, you know, Real Madrid kind of the ops. I ain't gonna lie. Real Madrid gave us so much belt over the years. I ain't gonna lie. Like, when we had Neymar and Mbappe, that game, when we was up in the league and they came back and beat us, like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all look at the ops because y'all was giving us belt. I ain't gonna lie.
In certain matches over the years. Like, let's look at the Champions League quarterfinal game against Bayern Munich. Naturally, in typical fashion, the final whistle goes, and the Real Madrid...
I'm pretty sure when they beat us in 2018, we was up in the first leg. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm pretty sure it's 2018. Real Madrid won the first day. Oh, nah. One of them legs was up, like, I don't know, but y'all was giving us belt though, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, we gonna beat that 2017-2018 Real Madrid team.
He runs onto the pitch, they crowd the referee, and they're basically complaining to him. Now, this is nothing new. All teams do it. All footballers do it. When you feel like the referee has scammed you, has costed you the game, they all do it. This is a very normal occurrence in football. It shouldn't be. I was watching rugby the other day, and there's so much respect between the players and the ref. That's just non-existent in football. But Real Madrid are not...
Y'all need to put some respect on rugby. But rugby is fire as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
Not the first team to hound the referee because they feel wrong. The reason the reaction from the team is so extreme is because, number one, they were complaining about the Camavinga red card, but by the letter of the law, that was a worthy second yellow offense.
I find it interesting that every single person's moaning about the ref. Not one have I heard talking about how stupid Camavinga is.
I mean, Camavinga and the squad should have known. He got sent off for the exact same thing in 2025 against Arsenal. Literally, my editor, my fantastic editor, we'll put a clip of it right here. He did the exact same thing, kicked the ball away, and boom, you're sent off. Now the funny part is the ref didn't know he had a yellow card. So that's why he actually followed the rule book. If he knew that Camavinga was already on a yellow, he wasn't going to give him that second one. Which shows you just how biased these refs can be in some of these games. I'm not talking about just being biased towards Real Madrid, I'm talking about in general. There are many times where a player will make that second offense that is yellow worthy, but because they were on a yellow, the ref won't send him off because he doesn't want to change the trajectory of a game based on his decision. So firstly, the Camavinga red, absolutely a red. But the thing that makes it so funny is that so many decisions before that when Real Madrid...
Speaking of Camavinga, I'll take Camavinga at PSG. They saying they might be done with him. He might leave. I'll take him at PSG.
Way. For example, Arda Güler's free kick comes off...
Bro, fucking Vitinha hurt. We gotta play Byron. I know I keep flexing on my club. We the best club in the world. We gotta play Byron, son. Vitinha hurt. Fucking, I think, gang. Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. We talking about Real Madrid, and I keep bringing up my club. Yes, I'm sorry. If you mad, click off the video. Like, damn. Fuck. Vitinha hurt. Nuno Mendes hurt. God damn. Like, bro. Forget the league, bro. Let these niggas rest, bro. Niggas gotta rest. We still first in the league. 60. Right. We 3 points clear. Like, dang, let these niggas rest of the league. Like, dang.
The back of what many people would see as a phantom.
Like, dang, fuck the league. We win the league every year. If Lens come back and win the league, let Lens win the league game. Like, shit.
Foul. There's not really much contact between Limer and Brahim Diaz. But it's a 50-50 because if you look closely enough and you bring out that microscope and magnifying glass, you can probably find a...
Again, we need Vitinha and Nuno Mendes game against Byron. We need them games.
Little bit of contact somewhere. So if the ref calls that a foul, you can look into it, and by the technicality of the letter of the law, there might have been some level of contact to justify a foul. If he didn't call it, there's an argument to be made that it wasn't a foul. So what happens is there's a lot of these 50-50 situations in a match, but it seems to be that specifically in the Champions League, Real Madrid gets the benefit of the doubt with a lot of these calls. So that was one example where it wasn't really a free kick, but he gave it anyways, and Arda Güler scores from it. Then you have the Mbappe goal. So before the counterattack that led to Mbappe's goal, Rudiger literally stepped Stanisic's foot. He's not looking at the ball, the pass had gone by minutes ago, and Rudiger just destroys this poor guy. And there's no VAR review. They don't bring it back. And it's like, why not? That's a foul. But nobody says anything. So again, it goes in Real Madrid's way. Then
man, let him play game. Like, this soccer, this shit gonna be a physical game. He flopped. Like,
have whatever the hell you want.
It's a foul, but like, man, they letting these niggas play.
Call this with Vinny just hitting Kimmich whenever he wants. Right in front of the referee. No yellow card for this. Rudiger suplexes someone? No problem. That move is now allowed in football. Like, if somebody else did this to Vinny, what he's doing to Kimmich, he'd be on the ground flopping and doing everything he can to get that other player booked. Vinny does this in front of the referee. He hits Kimmich once, he hits him again.
And it's Kimmich smiling, gang. Kimmich would have punched you in your shit, Vinny. Like...
literally in front of the referee's eyes. So Real Madrid fans and the players ignore all of these
I fuck with Vinny. Vinny be doing too much. Like, Vinny low-key be pissing me off. I ain't gonna lie.
calls, but they get mad at the one instance where the ref actually followed the rule book. Because that's what happened. All the players came out in the post-match press conference. They didn't talk. They were in that mix zone. And I think three guys, it was Bellingham, it was Rudiger, it was Militao, basically saying
it's a joke.
Injustice, it was a joke.
Arbeloa said this: you can't send a player off for a thing like that. I think the referee didn't even know that Camavinga already was on a yellow. Jude Bellingham said, a joke. 2 fouls, 2 yellow cards. And then Antonio Rudiger said, it's better not to talk. You saw it, right?
Conveniently ignoring the amount of 50-50 calls that went their way. Now that Champions League game is just one example. This stuff happens all the time in La Liga. It's just harder to get the referee to always go in your favor across 38 league games than it is for a few Champions League matches. Because again, we go back to Rudiger. I saw him do a move that is illegal in the UFC in La Liga, and it wasn't even called a foul. In the UFC, you cannot knee someone when they're on the ground. Rudiger did that in a La Liga match, and nothing. Forget no booking. The ref didn't even call it a
Rudiger a fucking menace.
foul. But that's the issue with Real Madrid, their mentality, and the players now. They just think they're above the law. And again, it's not just the players, it's not just Florentino Perez, it's also the media around the team. Real Madrid TV literally has episodes where they analyze refereeing decisions in the most biased way possible. Like, people call me biased all the time, and that's fine. I've never marketed my channel as an unbiased page. You can see the jerseys behind me. I've talked about the teams that I like, the players I like, the teams that I hate. But Real Madrid TV is an official TV channel that is linked to the club. My channel is my personal opinion. I can be biased because the channel is called Pet Talks Football. It's inherently biased to what Pet is saying. But Real Madrid TV is supposed to be less biased and then piling on more pressure on that ref before the next game.
Now, reports in Spain are suggesting that Real Madrid might boycott the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona tomorrow.
Yeah, it comes after Real Madrid's in-house media channel published a video which it claimed shows errors made by the referee for the final throughout his career. The referee was brought to tears when asked about that video today.
Estamos centrando mucho los vídeos del Real Madrid Televisión, la verdad que es lo que más repercusión tiene, no te voy a decir que no. Te voy a contar situaciones que han pasado a compañeros míos y luego tú me das tu valoración porque quiero que me contestes. Cuando un hijo tuyo va al colegio y hay niños que le dicen que su padre es un ladrón y llega a casa llorando, eso es muy jodido. Lo que hago en mi caso es intentar educar a mi hijo, ¿vale? Para decirle que su padre es honrado, sobre todo honrado, que se equivoca, como un deportista más.
That's exactly what the TV does. So it's no surprise that the players have developed that same victim mentality, where it's okay if 9 out of 10 decisions go their way, but they're going to absolutely freak for that one decision that doesn't go their way. And keep in mind, most of the time, the decision they're complaining about was the right refereeing decision based on the rules. So when you're the fan of an opposition team or any other team, it's hard to feel bad for these guys because they won so many Champions League titles off the back of some individual brilliance. Do not get it twisted. Nobody wins that many Champions League titles purely based on the refs. You have to have the skill, the ability, and the big names. But a lot of things have to go your way to lift that cup.
Yeah, that's how they win Champions Leagues, off individual ability, like
so
individual performances.
Guys complain about the ref screwing them over, about injustice. You feel like playing the smallest violin possible. And I think the majority of Real Madrid fans, at least the ones that have shame, are getting upset at this attitude too. They want to see their team just play football and win games. There's enough talent on the pitch where these guys shouldn't be constantly complaining and diving and playing for pens. That's the other big thing. You know how many pens these guys have gone in La Liga? Now you gotta keep in mind, one of the reasons these guys get so many penalties is because they have a lot of great dribblers. Mbappe, Vinny, these guys can take players on. They get a lot of touches in the box, so naturally there's a higher likelihood of getting pens. But you look at some of the decisions that go their way. When I talk about 50-50 calls, it's just a little bit surprising how much things go in their favor. Now in La Liga, I never really talk about teams scamming or being favored because I think in general the officiating is just horrible. Real Madrid gets some bad calls for them. I've seen reffing. Barcelona gets some bad calls. La Liga reffing is a bit of a joke. But again, this goes back to them complaining. If so many 50-50 calls go your way, you can't act like victims when it suddenly doesn't go your way. And as I was saying before, most Real Madrid fans are tired of it because in certain matches, Madrid literally just play for penalties. You got Vinny, you got Mbappe, you got Rodrigo, whoever's on the pitch at the time. They'll run into the box, try and initiate contact, get a VAR review, and get a penalty. It's a bit embarrassing to watch, even if you're the biggest Madrid fan, because you're like, oh my god, we have these talented players. Why are they not just linking up together? Why is everybody just running into the box and falling down, praying for a penalty? Now, of course, a big reason for this hate now is coming because Real Madrid have been on top for so long. Before the Real Madrid fans come crying at my comments, yes, absolutely. You guys are a great club. That's why you get hate, because you were at the top for so long. But this victim mentality, this constant complaining, you cannot be upset or confused on why people prey on your team's downfall. Because when you have the reputation of being the best, of calling yourself the kings, of being the greatest team ever, the greatest club ever, you also have to act with a level of professionalism. And you rarely see that from Real Madrid. In fact, you rarely see it at all from La Liga, to be honest. And now a lot of them are trying to pull this underdog gimmick when they were supposed to be the team that takes over the world after Mbappe joined. Yet they've gone back-to-back seasons trophyless.
If Mbappe joins Madrid, the whole world need to get ready.
Despite bringing in arguably the best player in the world onto a team that had just won the double. Now, Madrid will be back. People comment on my thing, oh, they're just going through a rough patch. Absolutely. They're following the history of what happened with the first two versions of the Galacticos, and history is just repeating itself with this third version. To see exactly what I'm talking about, you have to watch this video right here.
If they start to get this shit together and they get it together, it can get scary. If they get this team together and their chemistry start getting there, it can get scary. Ain't gonna lie.